Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be suiting up in my Commander Cody suit. First off, this suit is a mix between the 2003 Genddy Tartakovsky Commander Cody and the Clone Wars TV show version. Commander Cody has always been my favorite clone trooper, so I wanted to make his suit really badly, but I didn't want to make just the standard Commander Cody because we've seen that costume a lot of times. So I wanted to make this version. We only really see this version a few times, and only for a couple seconds throughout the second old Clone Wars movie, so he really didn't get a lot of screen time. But I still remember watching that movie as a kid, and I've never forgotten this design, so I'm glad I was able to finally bring it to life now. All of the templates that I used to make this suit, including the armor and the extra bits, are free. They're in the description if you want to check it out and make a suit just like this one. Here's a quick overview of what all of the armor pieces look like. I'm going to talk about each one individually as I put them on. So let's go ahead and start with the undersuit. So here's the two types of undersuits that you can use. This is the one that I used in my last suit up video. It's a lycra, like a one-piece full-body undersuit. You can get them on Amazon. They're fairly cheap, and I like this option a little better than the two-piece option. But this option does tend to shed ink, so like when you wear it and take it off, you'll get like some black ink on your fingers and stuff. But that does wash off. So that's one option. The other option is just the two-piece shirt and pants that you can get. This is also very stretchable, thin fabric, but it basically does the same thing. The only difference between the two-piece suit and the one-piece is that sometimes on the two-piece at the waist area where the pants and the shirt connect, the shirt can sometimes ride up when you like twist and bend over and stuff, and I don't like that very much, but it's much easier to put on than this one because you have like a zipper in the back and you have to do it yourself and stuff, so it can be tricky, but they're both about the same thing. Another thing that people are always asking me about is the harness, and in my last suit up video I showed a much bigger harness, and I just want to clear things up. That is not necessary. It's really just overkill, that one. I was just making it up as I went. But I've made a newer one. This is much smaller, much more simplified. I'll probably do another video dedicated to just showing exactly how it works and why it's useful. The harness is just made of a bunch of cheap dog collars that I found at Walmart, so it's really nothing complicated. The first piece of armor that I'm going to talk about is the abdomen section. This is my upgraded version, which is basically just taller than the other one. The other one came up to about right there, and the issue I had was that when you'd flex backward with the chest armor, it would pop out and go behind the abs, and then it would get stuck. So this is much taller, and it just works much better. It has a piece of Velcro right here, which is where it will connect to the harness and keep it in place. This will just keep it front and center and prevent it from turning left and right. You put it on by unclipping it like this, and then there's elastic straps to help keep it in place. You just have to really find the right amount of give that you need, so you don't want to make it too tight or too loose, but it's really easy to just clip on and then connect together, and you get this mostly seamless look. You do have a little bit of a gap on one side, but I mean, it can't really be helped, so that's about as good as it's gonna get. The next part of the suit that you have to put on is the cod armor. It's also connected to the belt, so there's no difference. It's just hard connected. I wanted to make the suit able to be put on just all by myself without any help. And to do that, the material needs to be flexible, and EVA foam works really well. It's nice and flexible, but holds its shape. So yeah, I can put it on by myself. Since this is the Genddy Tartakovsky version of Commander Cody, he has a holster right there on his belt. This is just the regular Clone Wars style holster that like Captain Rex has. One thing that I would like to change in the future is the adjustability of it. So like this one, you can't adjust it at all. It's just all glued together. But ideally in the future, you would have like a Velcro or buckle system where you could take it apart right here and then just put it back together. But for this one, I just have to slip it on. Next up are the thigh armor pieces. These are just mirror images of each other, so one for the left, one for the right. And they have straps on the inside to connect to the harness belt that I'm currently wearing. The buckle right here attaches to the harness buckle that I have glued on right here. And there's one on either side, so it just clips on. But you gotta wear it first. Now for the Shin Armor pieces, these are a bit complicated because they have to be opened and closed at the bottom in order to slip your foot in. So I had to come up with a system. In my last suit, I used Velcro, and that works okay. It's a good, cheap, easy option, but it wears off over time, and the connection can kind of get loose, and it just doesn't really look right. But with this one, I used a zipper, and it's a bit complicated to attach because you have to be really careful when you're gluing it in. If you get any glue on the actual zipper track part, then it won't work. The entire thing is useless. It won't do that. It won't slide properly. So you need to be very careful when gluing this on that you don't get it in the track. I made the zippers on the opposite sides so that you'll always know which one is left and right. So the zipper is over here and over here. Next on the list are the shoes, and these are ones that I had to modify quite a bit. It was really hard to find a shoe that was similar in shape to the Clone Wars style shoes that the clones have. This is one that I found from Walmart. It's like a time and true. It's a girl's shoe actually, I think, but it works pretty well. If you cut these little notches in it, this is just a rubber sole, so it's really easy to cut in with just an X-Acto knife. So that's what I did, just a bunch of times over and over. I think it looks pretty good. And then I just ran a strip of foam up the front, and then some more foam on the top and sides. These I had to slim down quite a bit because in my last suit with my other shoes, I made these too big and people kept calling them Crocs. And I really wanted to avoid that because it just doesn't fit with the Clone Trooper aesthetic. So that's what I used this time. Now we're going to get into a fun part. This is the chest and shoulders, and they're all combined together in one because I didn't want to have to use like a harness system up there. I just created some very simple clips that attach to from the shoulder to the bicep on both sides. So for this one, they're the same. They both have a buckle, and they both attach to the chest armor, which has these little straps right here, and they're just on a little dog collar piece. For the chest armor, there's one unique piece that's for Commander Cody, and that's the jetpack. I just glued it right onto the back because I didn't want to have to make it removable. That's just a lot of extra work, so I just glued it right on. I do have templates for this as well, and those are free. But basically, this jetpack weighs almost as much as the chest armor, so it really tends to be back heavy. It'll do this whenever you're wearing it. So to prevent that, I put in a clip right up here that connects to the harness on the belt, and that helps balance out the weight so it won't slunk back like this. It'll stay upright like it's supposed to. So I'll show that in a little bit. So here's the chest and shoulder armor on, as well as the biceps. One thing I forgot to mention was the Velcro on the sides. They can be a little difficult to put on. I should have added some magnets or something to help guide it into place, but the Velcro on the sides does a pretty good job of holding it together. In my other suit, the red one, I just had a magnet system and it fell apart over time because the magnets would collide with each other really hard and eventually they would break. Like they were so strong they would just break each other. And that was a problem, so I tried using Velcro. It works okay. I think I can do better though. Next up we have the gauntlets, and these are pretty easy to put on. They just slip right on. They've got some foam, some cushion foam on the inside to help keep it in place so that it doesn't slide around. Next up we have the hand plates. These are very easy to put on. They have some Velcro on the back that attaches to my gloves, and I'll put these on really quickly. And now before I put on the helmet, there is one more essential piece to the Genddy Tartakovsky Commander Cody, and that is the pistol that he has. So this is just a standard, pistol that I built in another video, so you can go check that out. I'll probably leave a link up in the corner, but yeah, just slots right into the holster. Nice and simple. Yep. And last but certainly not least, we have the helmet. Now this is just a repaint of the 13th Battalion helmet that I made in another video. That was quite a long series, so go check that out if you want to see how I made this helmet. This is the only part of the suit that is not made out of EVA foam. This is a Pepakura model that has been hardened with liquid plastic. I went over the entire process in my tutorial video series, so go check that out if you want. But otherwise, the attachments like the visor and the little head pieces, these are all foam. Except for this antenna. This one is just a paintbrush that I actually just wrapped some foam around the end and glued it on. It was close enough, so it didn't really matter. This is foam, this piece right here. The chin piece is foam. The lights are actually ones that I bought off of Amazon. They were cheaper when I bought them, but now they've gone up a little bit. They are functional, so they can be turned on. They are very bright though. I will warn you, these are extremely bright. I had to put some paper. They even have a lower setting, but it's still pretty bright. I had to put some paper film in there just to kind of block out the light a little bit, but I may still have to change it some. Looking at the inside of the helmet, and I actually added something new for this time, a metal grating around the teeth. It doesn't have to be metal. I actually found some plastic that works better, but it is breathable now. And that was one issue that I had with the red one. It was very hard to breathe, like exhale air outward, I guess, because it was just a piece of foam that was black. But these work a lot better because it allows my breath to go outward. Of course, I don't know how else to say it. It just works really well. I tried to put some behind these pieces as well to allow more airflow, but I don't think it worked as well. One thing I still need to install is like a fan system on the inside, but that'll be for a future project. So that's about it for this video, guys. I just wanted to show off the suit and talk about, how it all came together. I'm definitely going to do more videos with this suit, and I've learned a lot from it. After building this armor twice now, I feel confident to build more suits. I might try to do a Republic Commando next time, but that's all for another video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.